So you want to know the truth about love, or maybe just the truth about loyalty? Well, let me tell you about the kind of loyalty that dies before the body. My husband, God rest his soul. Did you know he let the world think he died to escape us all? It wasn't an accident or an act of despair. It was a plan, an escape plan from the very family he said he loved. How's that for a reality check? Some people, even those you think you know best, have secrets buried so deep they're willing to take them to their grave. But sometimes, just sometimes, those secrets have a habit of bubbling up to the surface, even if it's too late for them to face the consequences. I remember the weekend we discovered he was missing. It should have been like any other. Our children, adults in their own right now, were visiting, filling the house with laughter and chatter. I was in the kitchen, slowly chopping vegetables, each slice following a rhythm ingrained over decades of cooking meals for a family. The old radio crooned low in the background, barely audible over memories of past dinners and shared stories. Yet amidst the bustle, there was an unshakable absence. His usual humming hadn't greeted me that morning. When we gathered for breakfast, a ritual he never missed, his chair at the head of the table sat empty. I tried to laugh off the worry, said he'd been talking about an early walk, but with each tick of the wall clock, my heart beat an erratic warning. My daughter, Beth, noticed, her eyes flicking between the vacant chair and me, searching for reassurance I couldn't give. Silence wrapped around our table, smothering the cheer like a thick, unyielding fog. I spent the afternoon retracing his steps, asking neighbors if they'd seen him. Our street, usually alive with the sounds of children at play, seemed eerily quiet. Every face looked on with sympathy masked as concern. Their pitying glances whispered words I was not yet ready to hear. As daylight surrendered to dusk, I returned home empty-handed, each shadow in the house a phantom of my racing thoughts. His disappearance was beginning to feel less like a mystery and more like a farewell. The first night without him was restless. Every creak of our old house, every sift of wind through the trees outside seemed amplified. I sat by our bedroom window, his side of the bed untouched. There, under the veil of night, I sifted through memories like sand grains, struggling to piece together any sign I'd overlooked. The love letters we exchanged during our courtship, hidden in an old shoebox, became my midnight companions, their worn pages a testament to a love I thought enduring. In the days that followed, the facade of his presumed accident was unsustainable. I visited the local police station, sat across from an officer who spoke in an even, mechanical tone, an exhausted empathy. Their official report of a possible accident rang hollow. My heart refused to believe it, sensing the silent echoes of a decision already made. Leaving the station, an unshakable chill accompanied me home. I realized then it was the cold grip of uncertainty. There was one last trip. I drove to the cliffs, the spot where he seized solitude to think. Sitting on a familiar rock, I let the wind whip around me, chilling more than just my bones. It was his space of solitude, where he had taken our children for fatherly talks and me for stolen kisses in the early days. The roar of the waves below was relentless, a symphony of our bygone intimacies. It was here, among the elements, I finally admitted he might not be coming back. With acceptance came the whispers that draped like cobwebs in my mind. They spoke of a life split in two, the one before, full of shared dreams and everyday commitments, and the one after, defined by a haunting silence. I continued our Sunday rituals, preparing his favorite stew, even setting his place at the table. It was a ritual of remembrance, pretending he would one day walk through the door. The aroma was bittersweet, whispering of the seasonings of a life shared and a bond broken. After a year of touching voids, rummaging through the essence of him left behind, I stumbled upon a hidden note in our attic. It was tucked inside a beloved novel, the one he read countless times by our bedside lamp. The paper crinkled, its creases deep like the continuation of our journey. It spoke of difficulty, of a struggle with shadows even I was unaware of. At that moment, the burden of not being his confidant, of not seeing his pain, weighed me down like a stone in still water. I wrote to him, a letter he might never read, pouring out an ocean of forgiveness and unresolved love. Each word inked held a piece of our history, from the swirling dances in kitchens and whispered dreams under blankets. My pen bled memories onto that paper, stitching a patchwork quilt of laughter and the heartbeats shared over years. It was my homage to the life we once wove. Even if he couldn't reciprocate now, news arrived in the most unexpected way, a letter postmarked from a distant city. It was just a mundane note from an old friend, catching up, sharing community tidbits. The words slipped in passing, the mention of a man remarkably like him now residing far away. My heart didn't leap with joy or anger. Instead, there was a relief, knowing he lived, perhaps differently, perhaps freely, a possibility entertaining a glimpse of closure, even if not in the form I'd once dreamt of. In quiet resignation, I began planting a garden, a tribute to what was and a sign of forgiving what remains. Each seed placed carefully in the soil represented a memory nurtured into the cycle of new beginnings. As the flowers grew, vibrant against the passage of time, I breathed in fragrant forgiveness. Seasons passed, and with them came an acceptance like a soft rain, nurturing life in his absence and whispers in the wind of its embrace. There, among the rose blooms, I said my final goodbye. My heart holds no anger, no bitterness, only the soft-edged memory of his smile, the deep-seated etchings of a life together, and even, perhaps, a deeper understanding. What was once an icy pang has numbed into an acceptance, a patience world-weary and gentle. As I sip my morning tea on the porch where we often sat, crickets and crows harmonizing a background of life beyond these walls, I find peace in the present, more forgiving in these old bones than I could have predicted. Even now, knowing the truth brings a strange kind of relief and sadness. I realize I may never truly understand his reasons, nor the full extent of what life had become for him. But in these quiet moments on my own, I find a peace of sorts, remembering the warmth we once shared, even if it ended the way it did. I just wish I had known. If you want to hear more stories like mine, please subscribe.